We are live. Thank you for joining. Meet me at the table. We are at the painting table tonight. It's gonna be super spectacular. I'm excited to be back here. I haven't gotten back to the painting table in a while, so it's gonna be super fun. As you saw from the what do you call it, title of the video, we are still working on Adeptus Custodies. I know, and this isn't even really normally a Warhammer channel. But for those of you that have not seen anything yet and don't know kind of why we're doing this, basically my son has gotten to Warhammer 40k, I've gotten to Warhammer 40k, and we have really been embracing this quite a bit. So I have been really working hard on getting an army up and running, and I slowly am. I've got a lot of them painted up. Every single model is painted except for one, and that's right, that is the leader. We're going to be painting our leader today. This is Trajann Valoris. I've gotten some on him. I got the gold and purple on him, so we're working that hard. Ralph, thank you so much for joining. Good to have you here. It's awesome to have you here at the painting table tonight. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining. So that is what we're doing. We're going to be painting up this last miniature, the final miniature. Though there are some touch-ups, of course. There's always touch-ups, right, on miniatures you have to do. For example, this guy right here, we need to dry brush his cape and his little top hat thingy here. Like, top hat? Is that really what it is? I don't think it's a top hat. And then other than that, he is done. We just need to do that. Now, as you notice, a lot of them don't have weapons, and that's because I've magnetized all the weapons, so I do have to paint all these spears on my guys. But we can do that. We're going to do that another time. They just go right on like that. If you're interested in wondering how I magnetize these things, please let me know. I actually do have to magnetize one, so I can do that tonight if you're interested in seeing it. Doesn't take me very long. The reasons I magnetize them is because they can also have these awesome axes. Not that one. I have 140 axes in here, and I picked one that couldn't go on this guy. They just kind of clip in like that. So, and then that also changes what the model actually does in combat. It's kind of supposed to be kind of what you see is what you get, but a lot of times people don't mind kind of doing saying things that you're interested in having there. Ralph, what do you got here? I am still working on my Chronicles of Drunagor painting base game, almost done. Oh, that's, see that those dungeon crawlers, they take a while, man. They take a while. That's how it goes. You could spend like a couple hours a day on these, and it would take forever to get through a dungeon crawler. I tell you, I also got my hair cut today, so not that I have much to really notice that it's cut, but got that cut too, so I'm pretty excited. So what we're doing is we got the gold on, we got the purple on. We're going to continue with this guy and see what we can do with him. Hopefully it goes well tonight, and we can keep on trucking. That's the plan. We are trucking. Hopefully you that are here have something to paint, or at least something to be doing while we're chit-chatting and painting away. I am going to be using my let's see, I think I'm going to use a 1 brush. I've got a level 1 brush whoosh, right here. That's the one I'm going to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that gold look better. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this Reichland Flesh Shade. We're not going to use that brush. That brush is terrible. I'm going to throw that brush away. You know, this brush almost can become a dry brush now. That's the deal, because it's terrible. Dale, good to see you. Oh my gosh, Dale, the casual gamer, awesome to have you. Good to see you. Hopefully you can stick around. Hopefully you don't need to try to get up tomorrow. And if you do, I hope you make it this time. Oh, your comment made me laugh so hard last time. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope life is glorious with you. We are going to start by painting this dude up. Nemesis just shipped, so that should be here in 3 weeks. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. I did get my Nemesis copy. It was pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited for it. More Nemesis on the way, by the way. I am definitely planning to be doing a new Nemesis playthrough. Like I said, I have been a mad painter. I've been a mad painter. I've been painting all of these. There's like so many of these guys. It's out of control. Let's see if I can show you the pain that I have been in lately. Let's see here if I can show you. Okay, let's see if I can show you. Let's see if my camera can go over there. Kind of, there they are. They're all over there. Wow, that is something. That they look a lot better than that. Okay, wow, we're gonna go back to here. Why did the camera do that? Well, you know what? I'm not gonna have to worry about that. Hope I don't ignore the alarm again. Yes, yes, alarms are there for a reason. My wife is not a big fan of my alarm. I use the one that goes like, ner, 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 and I have it at full blast, so I can never, you can't sleep through that. The whole house wakes up when it's time to get up in the morning. That's what happens here. All right, let's get this camera in the right spot now. There we go. Someone's a weird camera tonight, but that's okay. Batch painting. Batch painting. Yes, that's one way to paint things. I haven't done batch painting online live before, but when I do batch painting, I usually do 5 models at a time, because once I get more than 5, I start getting overwhelmed. But this Custodies army is a very good example of batch painting, because every one of them has this gold on them. So I could go through and paint every one. I could get a group of like, well, my entire army, I can do 28 of them and paint them all gold and just paint gold. 28 guys gold. Once I'm done with that, I can paint 28 guys with purple, and then 28 guys silver, 28 guys whatever. Batch painting. I did some batch painting. I did like usually groups of 5. I also find that if I have too many models on the table, I also feel overwhelmed. So I also built 5, primed them, and painted them. Then built 5, primed them, then painted them. Kept doing that. That was my cycle. So that's what kept me from going insane painting all these guys. Usually takes me about a little over 2 hours a guy, because that's kind of the deal with these guys. All right, let's get down here. I'm going to use some Reikland Flesh Shade. This is a shade, so it's going to go on. I'm going to put it in my paint holder of not spilling here, and it's going to go on and just kind of give this more definition, and it's going to be more, it's kind of got a red hue to it, which is kind of cool, which is kind of neat. So we're just going to kind of paint this on here and get it all over the gold and let it sink into the recesses. That's what shades do. They sink into the recesses and give it more definition and more color. That's the plan. I'm not a big fan of batch painting. I always skip halfway and finish one after another. Yeah, that's the problem with me. I get two, it just gets too monotonous for me to do that. But yeah, we're just gonna take this red, and this flesh shade is what they call it, Reikland Flesh Shade, and we're just gonna paint it on here. Now, if I get it on the base, I'm not too worried about it, because I'm gonna paint the base. I'm gonna do something with the base. I'll show you in a second what I'm planning to do with the base. But we're gonna get all this with this red. And even if I get it on the cape, it's not the end of the world. So our goal is, when we're done, is we're going to get the basing to look like this. We're going to have some dirt stuff. I'm going to put some dirt on it, and I've got grass I'm going to put on it. And, oh, what's that? Did I get something on there? I'll have to paint that. So we're going to get some grass on there, and then eventually, when it's all said and done, it's going to look like this. It's going to have a brown around the whole rim of it, and it's going to kind of look like that. That's what our whole, when we're all said and done, this is one of the Adeptus Custodies dudes will look like that. That's the plan. That is the plan. That is the plan. So we got to get him now. This is the leader. It's the big leader guy. His name is Trajann Valoris. He's really good. He has a tendency, I have played with him a couple times. He has a tendency to die, but that's okay. Somebody else just steps up, right? And that's what leaders do. They die, and somebody else steps up. And maybe that's what they do. But again, we're just going to kind of, now when you're doing shades and stuff like this with these or what else, another word, washes, when you're doing shades and washes and things like that, you also want to watch as you're painting it. You don't want it to pool. You don't want it to pool, otherwise it's going to cause that to be a little darker than you want it to be in that area. So again, I'm going to put some up there, but I'm actually going to be working on the shield over here. That's the deal. Even though I put it up there, I'm still going down here with it, because I want to kind of make sure I got enough on there, but I don't want too much on that shield. So then I can go back up here and start moving this around. And since I'm going to need more up here anyway, it's okay that I put some there to begin with. We're just going to keep going all the way all around this gold. Now, in the picture, normally I like to go with what the picture does, but in the picture, they want this to be gold too. And you know what? That's a lot of gold, man. And I know there's supposed to be a lot of gold on this guy, and that's fine, but you know, sometimes a little bit too much. Now, I got some on his face, but that's okay. We're going to paint it with almost that exact same color. It's not called Reikland Flesh Shade for nothing. It's not because it's not called like Reikland Armpit Shade. So we are actually probably going to paint him with almost that exact same color when it comes time. That's the plan. Have you done a video on how to sun drop miniatures or have tips for primer, washes, etc. for lazy painters? Asking for a friend. I have not actually used that technique, but you can easily do it. William over at Hungry Gamer, that's a very good, very common way he does it, especially for his minions. He does it for like what he calls people that don't stay on the board for more than a few seconds. That is what he uses it for. I have a really hard time doing that because I look at it and go, oh, I got to make that look better. I got to make it look, you know, I get this perfectionism kicks in on me. But if you ever wanted to do something like a sun drop thing, you could paint this whole guy. You could spray paint him even purple or something, or orange, or whatever you want to do. Like usually a brighter color. Like you do blue like they do in the Nemesis box, right? And then afterwards, you just put a dark wash over the whole thing. It could either be a dark blue wash, or you could just even go with a black wash. And then it'll get right into the recesses of things. And that'd really be all you have to do to sun drop a miniature. I think Derek over at Canje Studios did a video on that. I think he said, like, did a video like, I'm going to show you how I sun drop miniatures. And I think you might be able to find it in his playlist somewhere. But I think he does that. I have a hard time doing that because I get too much, where I get too perfectionist-y, is that even a word, on it. So I have a hard time doing that. But again, we're just kind of getting all this wash over everything, including way in the back here on this. That's the deal. That's right. Slop and drop to perfection. Dan is here. Dan, good to see you. That is correct. He knows my painting technique. My painting technique is called slop and drop. I slop the paint on, and then I drop it on the table. That's the deal. That's it. That is it. That's it. That's the style of painting you're going to learn from me. You're going to learn slop and drop. I slop the paint on, and then I drop it on the table. That's all I do. And that's all we do here. There's no, like, super... We're not winning any awards. We're not trying to make this look like the greatest thing ever. We're just slopping some paint on, and we're going to drop it on the table. That's the deal. So far, we're getting this wash on everything. I dropped the guy. It's okay. There's part of the drop process when you drop the guy. Now, the best part about this guy is, if you notice, when I built him, I failed to realize he's supposed to have like an insignia here that's supposed to go here. I failed in miniature assembly 101. Don't throw your sprue away until you look at it all. So that was great. I thought slop and drop was sun drop. You, sir, are not slop and drop, even though you just showed us the drop. Yes, that was the drop. That was the drop. No, but see, I don't really try to do a lot of... I want people to learn from this. Like, basically, you're going to see me paint with maybe one color on things. That's it. I'm not going to try anything magical. Like, I'm going to do 9 layers, and then we're going to highlight, then we're going to tone it down, then we're going to bring the highlights back and all this. Because I've watched like people like how to paint these things. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to do that, because that's out of control. They've like got all these things they do where I just, nope, it's just, the most I do is maybe a color and a wash. And then we put it on the table. Slop and drop. That's the deal. So we're getting close to the end of my wash step here. And there's a little hand over here I've got to get as well. We're going to get this right here. And these guys are all these golden armored clad dudes. I shouldn't say that, because there are women in this army as well. They're actually really good at doing the shooting and stuff. They do really good too. This is what the army is called, Adeptus Custodies. If my son was here, he'd give you a whole history background on it. He is huge into the Warhammer thing. He knows everything. Perfectionist Painting Award, Slop and Drop category. Dan, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that's what I should do. I should have people come on and paint with me, and they can show me their slop and drop perfection category, and then see how they do. See how they stack up to my slop and drop. They're all gonna be better than my slop and drop. Even Dan's a miniature painter. He is better than my slop and drop, that is for sure. That's the way it goes. Dan, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. It's awesome to have you here. Thank you for the donation. That's amazing. I won an award. Dan says I win an award. I win an award for slop and drop. That's the plan. That's good stuff. All right, I think we got our wash on there. We're gonna let that dry a little bit, but while that's drying, it doesn't mean we can't do something else, right? Oh, forgot a part. I missed his foot. See, it's interesting because you can actually tell once the wash is on there. This is a darker thing, and this is lighter. You might not be able to see in the camera, but darker, lighter. You can kind of see it there, where you see the darker gold versus the lighter gold that's over there on that foot. So I can tell I didn't get that foot. So let's get that foot. And we're gonna do his cane/weapon here later. That's the deal. I want to get him done, then we're going to do then we'll do this big giant monstrosity that he's holding here. They all hold this thing. This is actually a really cool weapon. So I have to admit, one thing about Warhammer that's pretty awesome is they've got some really neat ideas for weapons. So this thing is not just a big giant axe. This has a huge gun. This is a gun. Here's the top of the gun. So you can shoot it with this, of course. Bang, bang. You shoot the gun. And then you kind of run in and you wham, wham, hit them with the axe. And then you win, win. That's the way this works. And they all have these things. They all have these things. See, here's this dude. He's got the gun, that thing right here. And then when I put the thing on him here somewhere, how's it go on? Let's see if I can figure it out. Here he is. Right here. This guy, when I get the thing on here, put it on. Pow. Pow, pow, power wheels. There we go. See? When it's on there, here's the gun at the end of the weapon. Bang. And this thing shoots out. Bang. And it kills things. And then I charge in, and then I kill even more things. These are like killing machines. It's really nice. They're actually really cool. My son recommended the army, and I'm actually glad he did, because this is a fun army. Okay. I think that's everything. Oh, nope, missed the shield too. I missed this shield over on this side. This shield way over here. I missed it hiding in the back here. So we're going to get that thing too. I will say this is my... some of these models were fairly easy to paint. This guy was not one of my favorites. Because with some of these, let's see if I can find my guy. I just did him recently. Where'd he go? He's... See here? Is this him? Yeah. So here's this guy. I did this guy. And one thing I could do with these guys that made it a little bit easier is I was able to paint them in parts. So then I could paint all inside here and everything. And then he just connects like that. So he's good to go. He's got his thing, and it's easier to paint. Where this guy didn't have anything like that, where you could kind of just like this whole part here was one piece, and it connects to this, and it all connected all over the place, and I couldn't really individually paint parts without it being fully assembled. So it's a little tough to get. It was tough to get into the back there to get all these purple parts and everything without hitting the sword and things like that. So yeah, we're gonna go with it. We're gonna keep on going. I'm not too worried about it. So we're gonna start at the top. We're gonna start at the top and go down. I'm gonna start with his face. That's what we're going to start with. So we're going to get some, what do you call it? It's not, there it is. Is it? Nope, that's not it. Let's find it. Here it is. Gilliman flesh. This is the only flesh I really use. And yes, you're going to see me use primarily contrast paints tonight. I do use contrast paints more than any other paints because they are a paint and a wash built in together. So I don't even have to go through and do like that Reichland flesh shade on the gold like I did. It just is automatically in there. So we're going to put it in our, oh my gosh, I'm throwing spears around. I'm going to move these spears. I have to paint all these spears too. I'm going to move those over there. But we're going to get this Reichland flesh shade. And I'm going to use a small brush this time. So this is a triple aught. This is a 000 one. So it's really a lot more fine. So it gives me the ability to kind of have a little more control when I'm closer to things. So he's got kind of a receding hairline, not as bad as mine. But so we're going to make sure we paint right up to the hair. That's what we're going to do. And the way I'm doing is instead of brushing it towards me, I'm actually pushing it towards the hair. And then when I hit that hairline, it'll stop because that's what it does. Because that's like a ridge. So it's able to just stop there. Now I'm going to paint his face. He's got an ear back here too we're going to paint. All right, let's see here. More paint on the brush. And I'm not using a wet palette or anything. I'm just going straight out of the paint pot onto my dude. And that's totally fine. I want to get his ear, which is back there in the back. It's kind of hard to see. I apologize. We're going to get the ear here painted up. We're going to get this ear over on this side painted up. There we go. I'm pretty excited for that. There we go. He's nice. Now his face is done. I love it. That's good stuff. Now, if I could be tricky. Let's see if I can be tricky. Let's see if I can find it. I could be really tricky. Not really that tricky, actually. I'm not really that tricky. I pretend I'm tricky, but I'm really not. Some people use these. I usually don't use them. We're going to give it a shot. I got this little thing. This thing is supposed to, in theory, hold your miniature while you paint it. Just like this. And then you can hold it while you paint. And it doesn't fall off. And you're also not touching the miniature where you've painted, and so you're not going to smear the paint off. That's one of the things it does. The other thing is you have more control over it somehow. I don't know. I don't really get that part, but whatever. We're going to try it tonight. We're going to use this thing. So we're not going to paint this because I'm not even sure what I'm going to do about that. I might just make something because I totally failed on miniature assembly. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go color to color and get this done. So the first thing we're going to paint with is black. I always want to try to go inside out, so I wanted to go with like purple, then gold, because those are the two colors that seem to be more recessed in. And then I'm going to start working my way out. So there's some black right here, so we're going to do that. Broccoli Docklands, I like the Dairy Queen Blizzard challenge you did there. Dangerously entertaining. Yeah, you like that? I am dangerously entertaining. That's like my middle name. Dangerously entertaining. Isn't that an Austin Powers thing? It's not dangerously entertaining, but it's something like that. Where it's, like he said, his like middle name is Dangerous or something. I forget. Anyway, I'm going to grab some black. I got this Black Templar. That is the one we're going to use. It's my go-to black. And of course, whenever you use a paint, you want to shake it up. And then you can even sing the song if you want to. Shake it up. Shake it up, and you get your leg warmers out and get your feet going. Shake it up, you know, just like you do in the 80s, you know, with the leg warmers. All right, that's enough of dating myself. All right, we're gonna see. The other reason I don't like the big tower is you can't see the miniature until I actually bring it back down. All right, and we're just gonna paint this underarm part here, but just a little bit of it. See where the ridges are? That's all I'm gonna paint. It's not much, but it's just enough. I'm gonna paint that. That's it. That's what we're gonna paint right there. Michael, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Awesome to have you here. I'm going to take this off. I don't like this thing. I should give this to my kid. He would love it. Maybe. Michael, good to have you. Thank you for joining. Awesome to have you here. We are painting up my final miniature in the Adeptus Custodies line. He's the big leader guy of my army, so he's got lots of stuff going on. I got a feather. You guys help me decide what color his feather is going to be. We're gonna have to. Then we got to paint a big giant lion on the back because he's. Maybe I should paint him like the White Lion, like he went to the Kingdom Death Monster World and came back. That'd be kind of cool. That's the deal. I came in on Shake It Up. You came in right at the right time. Then that was perfection. That's when you're supposed to come in. Is when you shake it up. That's the deal. You love it. That's good stuff. All right, black's done. I know it didn't seem like much. Put one right there, and that's about it. Oh, I think there's a little black there, and I don't know if I can put that too far. Okay. Next, we're going to go with, oh, there's some more black. I forgot about one part. This, like, okay, so it's going to be right in between. Here's a belt that runs this way and metal that runs this way. And right in between there, right here, is going to be black. I'm just going to paint that black, just like that. I'm going to come at it from all different types of angles here. Now, I do care if I hit the belt. I don't care if I hit where I'm going to paint metal, because I can just paint metal right over it. Just like that. I'm going to come over the top of that. And more black here. Also, the year of Gen Con is come and gone. I hope that anybody who went to Gen Con enjoyed it. If you're interested in seeing a recap of Gen Con, I know Steve over at the Coop Guild has done a wrap-up video lately. I think he just did it, or he's in the process of doing it, one of the two. You can go check that out at Coop Guild. You can see all the fun things that he did. I wonder if he did True Dungeon, because that's one of the things I do when I go there. I like to do True Dungeon. And I have yet to survive. The last time we did it, I did it with Peter and Jerry from One Stop Co-op Shop. Were the ones I do it with. And I did Peter's son last time. And it was super fun. And we did two of them that last time. And I died the first time, because that's what I do. And the second one was interesting because we sat down, it was the three of us, and we're working on some stuff. And then these other three are working on getting your stuff done. If anybody's ever done True Dungeon, you basically get like a set of tokens, like poker chips. And they all have different like things on them. If I knew where mine were, I'd show you. Actually, I know exactly where they are. They're right here. If I can find, yep, there they are. Okay, oofta. So I've got all my True Dungeon stuff right here, which is out of control. Okay, so you get these things, right? And then they have like, so I got the Turban of the Dunes, or I've got the Amulet of the Wild, and all these things in here. I've got the Tomb Guard Shield, so you can equip all these things. You can use more of them from I don't know when. I got way too much stuff here, right? And they're all for usually some can only work with certain classes. So this one, Sunshot Cannon, can only be used by the Barbarian, Bard, Fighters, Paladin, Ranger, right? So I got all these things, right? So we're setting all this stuff up. We're getting our guys all set up with all these things. I want the silver ones. So we're any good? I don't know what that means. Grave, Hunter, Shield, whatever. Okay. So whatever. And then a guy comes in and he writes down all your stats and everything of all the stuff that you have on your guy. And so, and you also pick a class. I think I was like the fighter the first time, or barbarian maybe or something, and then the second time was the paladin. So the first time I got dead, super dead, right? The second time we're setting up all our guy, getting our stuff all ready, and then as we're doing that, the other people that are scheduled for your group come in, and unless you schedule the whole thing, like rent out the entire, I think it's like 8, 3, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think it's like 12 people total, right? Going to this thing together, and you're solving puzzles, and you're also fighting bad guys and things, right? So setting up all our guys, getting everything all set, and then all of a sudden, as we're doing it, the last 3 people that hadn't filled the slot yet are coming in, and lo and behold, it was 2 people from a D&D podcast. I sadly didn't recognize them, but I recognized the guy who runs a channel called Nerdarchy, I think is the name of his thing. Or no, is it? But he does a big D&D thing, and he was decked out to the T, man. He had chips all over the place. Like he was taking folders out and like just undoing these folders full of chips and like then built his guy all up. And so we got to the last guy and I died. And I go, and the guy hits me, he goes, oh, and the paladin is dead. He goes, no, he's not. And he walks over and he pulls out a chip and he shows the guy and goes, here, I'm going to use this. He goes, oh, okay, it's a 1 per dungeon thing. And he puts it back in his folder. So he doesn't have to use it, like give it up. He's got it forever. And apparently it resurrects a person once in the dungeon per time. I'm like, really? That's amazing. So he saved me and I actually made it through one thanks to him. Okay, that was a long story. Thanks for bearing with me. That was my last true dungeon experience, was that one. Super cool. All right, back to Trajann. We got his face. Let's work on his head now. Let's get his head. We're gonna get his head now. We're gonna get his hair, I should say. What color hair should he have? I'll let you guys decide. Should he have red hair? Should he have blonde hair? Should he have brown hair? Black hair? You let me know. You let me know. Tell me what you think. What hairstyle he should? What color hair should he have? Meanwhile, I'm gonna paint some snakebite leather. Because that's my every miniature gets snakebite leather. Because every miniature I swear that I paint has a belt. All right, we're gonna paint his belt with snakebite leather. And that's the deal. So we're gonna get that all ready to go here. Let me see. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. I don't think I did. Okay, life is glorious. I hope. Boom. I don't know if anybody else has done True Dungeon yet, but that was my True Dungeon story. Now we're painting his belt. We're just getting right in here and painting his belt. And there's a key too. I don't care if I paint the key, because I'm going to paint the key silver when I'm all done here. Same with that thing there. We're going to get some belt action there. And ta-da, belt done. That didn't take too long. I don't think there's anything else to paint that color, so we're going to put that color away. My chat is still working. I think it's still working. Let's see here. Yes, I think it's still working. Good. Let's see here. Solo board game night. Board gaming night is here. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. See if I can get this thing back over here. Pow, there you go. I hope you've been well, my friend. I have. It is good to see you. Thank you so much for joining tonight. We're painting up our final Adeptus Custodies guy. I've only been going slightly insane painting all of these guys. They've been super fun to paint, but it's time to be done. It's time to be done. I've painted, I know it sounds lame. I've painted 28, and I know there's people out there who have painted way more than that when it comes to getting an army up and running. But this is where we're at right now with this. We're going with I'm at 28 of them. That's good enough for me. That's the deal. All right, I need my black back. I missed something with my black, so we're going to paint a little bit more here. There we go. That's better. Okay. Perfect. Now, next color. Next color is going to be silver. Hi-ho, silver. Away, right? Nope, nope, snakebite leather still. I missed some stuff. I forgot about my arms. Yep, I got 2 arms right now. So we're going to work on those. Trajann Valoris, I'm still using snakebite leather. I'm using a double 2 brush here. And this thing is going to be amazing. Let's see here. We're going to get some of this snakebite leather on here. I need to get his arms. So there are some arm straps under here. I think it's kind of funny that I chose the parts to do that are almost impossible to see. That's what you call good thinking of what to film when you go to film something. All right, we got this arm thing over here as well. This is all going to be snakebite leather in here. Right through there we go. I know you can't see it, I apologize. We're getting snakebite leather on here, and like I said, the cool thing about these contrast paints is that they shade and they paint at the same time. We're going to come back on this side. We're going to give this a good old hit here all the way through. All the way to the top. And around. Now I hit that gold, and I'm not happy I hit the gold. We're going to try to get it off of there. So the way we're going to get it off of there, off of that gold, is we're going to get the paint off the brush. We're going to dry the brush completely, and then I'm going to just kind of soak it up and see if that's good enough. See if that'll work. We're going to go right here. Soak it up. See? And there it goes away. It worked okay. And then I can use what I soaked up to paint the last little part. And now I got to look at a picture of a lion to figure out how to paint a lion. It's not something I normally go painting. Normally don't go painting lions. Maybe I should. They look pretty cool. There you go. That's what I thought. There we go. I just recently painted the terrain miniatures for Dragon Eclipse. I definitely have to try contrast paints because the paint I used was tough to paint with. Yes, I'm a huge fan of contrast paints. Now, some things contrast paints don't do very well is, let's see if I got an example of it. Anything that's kind of straight. So it kind of worked on this. So I really used a lot on this. But they can sometimes streak. Oh, there's a bug on it. I hate you, bug. They can streak sometimes. Like you can kind of see a little bit of color variation in there. So unless you put it on really thick, it sometimes can color vary, not vary it, but I rectify that by then dry brushing with a lighter color of it is. So this is like white and purple put together. And so when I dry brush it together and put it together and dry brush over this thing, it makes it look a lot easier, or a lot better, I should say, than it was before. Which I could do that now if you want to see what that's like. I can do it right on that guy. Let's do that. Let's do that. We're going to do some dry brushing. First need some water. Now the dry brushes I used, I learned from a painting master. Painting master told me exactly what dry brushes to buy. Told me to buy a makeup brush kit. Yep. Makeup brush kit. And then with the makeup brush kit, you can take some of the smaller ones and use that. That's the deal. That's a really good job. You've done with those minis. Thank you. Thank you very much, Solo Board Game Night. It's been an ongoing deal. I've been really working on these, that's for sure. So we're going to take one of these. We're going to take this one. It's a smaller one, and that's be perfect. I'm going to take 2 colors. I'm going to take my little palette here, and this has become my dry brush palette. It's not really a palette. I guess you can call it a palette. It's just this white tray. It's a white tray. Plastic. It's got crap all over it, but you can ship all this off if you wanted to, if you want to reuse them. But, you know, I can get like 10 of these for like $5 on Amazon or something, right? Another good way to put paint into these, if you're not painting straight from the pot like I do, another thing you can use is these. These are interesting, boop, because when you're done, you just, look at this. There's paint in this one. You just go, boop. No, there's not. It goes away. Look at this one. Boop, paint goes away. Silver, not anymore. Boop, silver came away. You can kind of do that, and then you can just reuse these. And you don't have to worry about cleaning them up. It's kind of neat, huh? I like that. could you just borrow makeup brushes from your wife and put them back? I'm sure she wouldn't notice. That would save me a lot of money. I should probably try that. Hopefully she's not watching. That would be amazing if she went to use it and all of a sudden her face started turning purple. That would be awesome. I would be so dead, Dale. So dead. Oh, all right. There you go. Let's see here. So what I'm gonna do now is, this is not a contrast paint. This is a straight up Army Painter paint. This is just purple. It's alien purple apparently. I'm gonna shake that up a little bit, though these are so old. As you can tell by the cracking on the paper here. Oh my gosh, when did I get this? It says shake well, but that's a myth. I can't shake this anymore. There's probably barely even any water left in this paint. But we're gonna put some of that on this palette. Let's find a spot. Let's go right here. And put it right here. And there we go. Got some purple. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay, perfect. Got some purple. Now we're gonna take some white. Now I don't have any white in that color, but that's okay. I've got this. This is fun. That's how you get cursed with sleeping on the couch for a month. That is right. That is how you get that. That is great. That's Robin's favorite foundation color, snake bite leather. That would be awesome. It's like, whoa, this is awfully darker than I normally have. Oh, it's snake bite leather. She wouldn't even know. She'd just yell at me. All right, then I'm going to get a paintbrush. I'm going to use this one. This is going to be my paint transfer brush. These are terrible brushes. These are just made out of nylon. Like, these are not used for painting. Actually, what I use these for, I bought 100 of them for like $5. I use these for glue. I paint glue onto the bases of miniatures with these brushes. That's what I do with these. Flesh shade for cover up. That's right. I should use some Reikland flesh shade. All right. We're gonna grab some. I'm gonna shake this up. This is also a pretty close to dead pot of paint here. There's not much. It's dying, but that's okay. It'll be good for what I need it for. I'm just gonna reach into this thing, grab some of this out of here with this brush here. And we're gonna put it on here. There you go, right there. Perfect. Get some right there. Perfect. Good job. Okay. Then we're gonna wash this brush off. We'll maybe use it later. We'll see. If I use it for glue, then I get rid of it, because I never use these for more than like one use of glue. So I have been saving all of these guys up, and I'm going to glue on the base for all of these in one sitting. That's what I'm going to do. But then all I'm going to do now is just going to do some tests. We're going to wing it. We're going to wing it. That's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to take a little bit of purple on this thing, just right in the corner, just a little bit on there. Then I'm going to take some white, and I'm just going to put it on the other corner, just like that. And then we're just going to kind of mix it up here and see what color we got. Well, it looks kind of dark. So we're going to add a little bit more of this white in here. There you go. Just kind of mix this up a little bit. It looks a little bit colorful. Now, here comes the trick. Okay, ready? Trick time. I've got a tile down here. It's got a bunch of colors on it. I'm just going to wash this off on a tile. Now, you don't have to use a tile. You can use a towel if you want. It's up to you. But if you use the tile, it allows you to like have a little bit more control as to how much you keep on your brush. All right. Now we're just going to lightly go over this thing. I mean, I am really putting no pressure on this at all. And I'm just going to lightly go up, from back and forth on this, just like this. And it's going to slowly kind of make the ridges come out, as you can see. Now, as I notice that I can kind of gauge by how much is coming off, I can flip the brush and see if that changes. Okay, good. Just like that. So right now I'm kind of looking. It hasn't done a lot, so I'm going to start pressing a little bit harder and allow a little bit more of the paint to come off my brush. And now it's getting a little bit more light. Now I'm going to kind of just go back and forth, because I was really just testing it first to make sure I didn't have too much on there. If you have too much on there, it's just going to glop on. It's going to look very sad. But this way I can kind of I'm really kind of forcing it on that paintbrush and these things now. And just the ridges of this are being caught by that, which works really well. Same thing, I'm coming at it from this angle. Let's see if we can get some up here without hitting the gold. Don't really want to hit the gold. There we go. Now, we're getting close in. I'm going to put a little more white in here. But even though I just put white on that brush, it's still got a lot of purple in here, just from being on the brush. Now we're going to wipe off a lot of that on our tile, just like this. We're just going to goodbye. See how much of that we can get off there. There we go. That should be pretty good. There's still some on the brush. Not much. Not much on the brush. Like again, now this is where you could, if you wanted to, you could test it on like your finger or something. Some people test it on fingers, things like that. I work in an operating room. They don't really like me coming to paint all over my hands. So I just kind of hope it's good. And like I said, the way I do it is I'll just take it and so lightly go across that I wouldn't even, I'm putting actually no pressure on just to see how much comes off. And there's a little bit coming off. So we're going to flip the brush over to the other side. Again, just kind of gauge it. There you go. And now we're going to kind of go a little bit harder on it just to get a little bit more off the brush. Like I said, we don't really want to hit that gold. I want to keep the gold from being hit. And now one thing I like to do is I really like to make the sides of my capes look kind of cool, so I just really kind of fluff up the bottom. We're just going to kind of hit this thing kind of hard now. There we go. Because now that I know how much paint I have on my brush, I'm not too worried about it. We're just going to kind of come up on it, and then we're going to go down on it. And like I come up and down on it. And now we're just kind of spreading it all around. I'm going to try to hit this the best I can. Again, with trying not to hit that gold if I can, but that's okay if I do. Now we got this. We're going to hit this as well. We're going to kind of come in here and get these. And sadly, oh, I don't want to hit that gun either. That's the other killer here. This gun's right in the way. Dude, why'd you put your gun there? You put the gun in the wrong spot. And then we're going to get a little bit more back here. Now, way in the back, there's a lot of way deep back in there I'm not too worried about. Nobody's going to see that. We're just going to kind of go like that. I hit the sword a little bit. Let's see if I can scrape it off. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Really hit my sword. I'll fix it later. Okay. But overall, that's kind of the deal. So that's my dry brush on this. I think it looks pretty good. And that covers up any kind of streaks and stuff you had. Now, another thing you may have noticed as I'm doing this is you're going to go, wait a minute, what is that weird part over here? Yep, that is where two parts of the miniature were coming together. And one thing you can do to fix that is use green stuff. You can kind of stuff this like epoxy in there, and then after it dries, you can kind of file it down to really make that become, the seam is lost. I'm not that concerned. I don't care. Again, I'm not going to spend all that time on this mini like that. So there we go. This is done. The dry brushing is complete. He looks a little bit more like you can see a little more of the stuff that stands out, and we're good to go. It brought out the wrinkles of the cape. That's smooth. That's a smooth effect. That is subtle yet very effective. That's what I love about watching things like this. That's a new technique I could try myself. Yes, you can just go ahead and do this. So all I did was take the color I had and just added some white to it and just figured out where kind of a good tone mix. It's kind of in the middle. Is where, as you can see, a little bit in the middle there, a little bit between like dark purple and light purple. And like I said, I'll put it and I'll scrape some off on a tile. If you don't have a tile, you can easily, ooh, that made a lot of noise. You can easily just use like a rag. This is my rag I set off to the side. I could have just done it off of there. And even when I'm using it on here, I can see how much paint's kind of on there still. And then once you're done with that, like I said, you just, I mean, I'm not even putting, I actually go without my thumb and just kind of lightly graze it across to see, because if you have too much paint on it, you'll see all of a sudden this goes, you'll see a smear go across your miniature, and you're gonna go, oh, that's sad. But that's okay, because you can, if it just happens, you can kind of rub it off with your finger a little bit, and then as you're dry brushing later, as you're going through it, it'll kind of turn a little bit better. Let's see if that happened to me here. Let's see if I can find one, because I know that's happened to me many times. Let's see if I can find one that happened to me. Oh, I know where one happened to me. I hit it real good. Oh, let's see. Let me find a tray. I've got a tray of guys down here. The rest of my army's down here. These are all my finished guys. These are all the guys I've done already. I'm sure some of these guys I messed up on here. Let's see if I can find one. When was it? Well, see, it looks like I did a pretty good job of hiding it, because I can't really find the guy I did it for. But yeah, if I did do too much, I then just kind of made that part a little bit lighter than I normally would, and everything was fine. I think this guy might have been one of them. Let's see if I can show you. I'll put these guys back over here. Stay. There you go. Yeah, so like this guy, over on this part of the cape, see how it's super light? I think I went through and this thing, whole thing just scraped across there, and I kind of quickly kind of rub it off and was like, okay, it's a little lighter, so I'll just kind of make that part lighter than a lot of the other cape. That's kind of how that had happened. So I mean, it's organic. So it's not the end of the world. When you're done, you can wash off your dry brush. I usually do. I'll dip it in the water and dry it off. But okay, I'll show you this. This is going to cause real sad chaos and sadness. I take my dry brush and I like dig it into that paper and I wring it, and I'm like really rubbing it around in there until the whole brush is dry again. And since it's a makeup brush, it really isn't going to lose any. You don't need a tip on this. You're not looking for a tip. So if you beat this brush up and try to kill it, it's not a big deal. It's just going to be a dry brush forever anyway. So now my dry brush is dry and I got the paint I used out of it. So next time I go to use a dry brush, it won't be purple. Spoiler alert, next time I use a dry brush, it's going to be purple. Because I'm going to do it on every one of these capes. That's one of the last things I have to do. Because every one of these dudes needs it. I've got, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 dudes. 15 that need to have their capes. Ooh, -5. So 10. 10 guys need their capes done. Oh, -1 because I did him. He's done. We're down to 9. I think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, 9. That's the deal. All right. Back to Trajann. Nobody's told me what color hair I'm supposed to color him yet, so I don't have a hair color for him yet. And no, we're not doing blue. This isn't the was it Geico? Magenta. See, I knew something was coming. Magenta. How many magenta hair colors do you see that are natural? What color is magenta? Is that purple? Red purple? Something like that? Magenta. No. Fail. Fail. All right, we're gonna go to silver while we work on that. I'm gonna move this back to the side. Now this paint's gonna dry out and whatever, just sits there, it's fine. Don't matter. Don't matter to me. Put it back where I found it, over here. There you go. It goes back. Oofta. There you go. That's where that goes. Okay. Sorry, I do not have my overhead camera set up tonight. I was going to, and I just never got a chance to get it done. Yeah. Salt and pepper. Isn't one of them dead? I think so. I think one at one point was dating Andre Rison, if I remember right. It's about all I know about Salt and Pepper. No, that's not Salt and Pepper. That was somebody else. It is not Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper are both still alive. And they push it real good? Is that what they do? If I remember right? Oh, my wife would be so embarrassed right now with me. Oh, she'd be so embarrassed. TLC is the one I'm thinking of that happened to. Wow. Thanks, Dale. Now I've just embarrassed myself. Or did I? Salt and pepper. Nah, I'm gonna go no on that one too. Okay, Dale said he should have black hair. Okay, that's good. We'll go with that. Dale said black hair. Okay, I'm gonna get some black Templar and we're gonna paint his hair black. That's the deal. I appreciate you showing me how you use the makeup brush. Thanks. You are so welcome, Solo Board Gamer. I'm glad I was able to do that. If I'm doing something or I'm talking about something and people want to know how to do it, let me know. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things I do with miniatures. I build them, I paint them, I magnetize them. Like I was telling people earlier, these guys are all magnetized. So if I want to put a different weapon on, I can just bloop, put a different weapon on, and they're good to go. Sometimes my magnet don't like to stick. The people I play in Warhammer aren't a big fan of my magnets. That's the deal. They do push it good, but it was back to hair color for you. Yes, back to hair color. What if, oh, you know what I could do? I could maybe do salt and pepper. I could do some black on top and then silver on the sides. That sounds, actually, Dale, you win. That's a great idea. Let's do that. We're going to paint kind of the top black, and we'll have a little, like, white on the sides. That'd be pretty cool, I think. That's what we're gonna do. That's the win right there. There we go. Dude, this good guy looks so awesome. Dale, you're amazing. So now he's got black hair with the gray streaks on the side. I think that's amazing. That's gonna be so cool. This guy's gonna be amazing. He's gonna win every battle. He's never dying again. I love the gray streaks. You are a genius. Good sir, and good luck with all the caps. I mean, good night, sir, and good luck with the caps. Yes, hashtag Dale, the casual gamer, is winning. Dale's winning. Dale's going to bed. Dale, thank you for joining. It was awesome to have you here. His hair is painted that color because of you. Because of you. So whenever I play this guy, I'll be a Dale. Made me paint him that color, and he's awesome. Okay. Have a good night, Dale. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. We're going to go silver next. Lots of silver on this guy. The silver I'm going to use is going to be Iron Hands Steel. Is the silver I'm going to use. It's kind of a in between a dark and light steel. It's kind of steel in between a dark and light metal color. So it's kind of a little bit of both. And that's one of the reasons I like it. Not too dark, not too light. I was using shining steel for a long time, but I decided to finally give up on shining steel. It was too shiny. Did not like the too shiny steel. Did I get paint on my arm? No, I did not. Okay. All right, we're going to paint some silver on this guy. And what we're painting silver is this part here, this key, this whole area here, this shield, and I think that's all that's going to... Oh, and his little sword back here. So we're going to start with the sword. I'm just going to hit the sword back there. It's going to be silver, but just the top of it. There we go. So we've hit just that little part back there. Which game are you guys planning on playing next? That is a great question, Solo Board Gaming Night. Right now we are doing Phantom Epoch, but I'm sure you saw my post this afternoon. We were supposed to stream tonight, or tomorrow night, but it's not going to work because my wife and I are going to go see Beauty and the Beast at the Orpheum, the Broadway play, or musical. So we're not going to be able to stream. Nah, that's the deal. We normally go on Sundays, but Sunday was not going to work. So we had to, so my wife switched to Tuesday, but she switched it a long time ago. Totally forgot. Set our stream for Tuesday, and then boop, we don't get to do it. And due to conflicts that between Colin and myself, that was actually the end of our summer live stream. So this is that last week was the last time, because both he and I are busy on the next like 3 Tuesdays in a row or something leading up to it, and then there's the first week of school, which we're probably not going to do, and then. After that, we're going to go again. That's the deal. Have you played it already? If so, how was it so far? So far, it's really good. We played 3 missions so far in Phantom Epoch. We enjoy it. So it might be the game we pick up and continue playing when we get back. I'm also trying to figure out how to do a live stream of Aliens. Not the board game, because we did a fundraiser. And the fundraiser, we raised so much money that one of the goals was that Colin was finally going to watch Aliens. And the problem with it is, in order to do that, I had to figure out how to do it without getting sued by copyright problems, right? So I've been looking into that, and it actually seems pretty easy to do. You just have to call up a license bureau and tell them that you're doing it on this day, and then I think you have to pay a little bit of money, and you're able to stream it. So that's what we're going to try to, I'm thinking we might maybe do that when we get back, because we don't have anything planned yet, unless we decide to play Phantom Epoch. And that way it kind of gets us back into the flow of streaming, because we'll come back for our fall streams and then continue into the winter. That's the deal. I see on your channel, I was on a hiatus, and I had been out for a few weeks. Oh, well, I'm good you're back. Hope you had a good hiatus. Hope it was a good reason to have a hiatus. Not a bad reason. I do not like bad hiatuses. Just a heads up. So the silver, I'm just going to get into here. So I hope that answers your question. So the answer, I guess, is we don't know. Most likely we're going to be coming back with, as it stands right now, we're coming back with Phantom Epoch in September. In the meantime, there may be a chance that I might try to do, I'm going to be doing some painting streams and stuff like that. So the streaming is not going to stop, the live streaming. And of course, we're still going to be doing recorded content. I've got some cool things coming. Colin's got some cool things coming. We'll see what he's got coming. I know he might be doing an Awakened Realms game coming up pretty soon that you can see. I know that's one I think might be in his repertoire. I might be wrong. I can't for sure say what he's doing. I should almost know because, like, I talk to him all the time. But I don't. There we go. We got that silver part painted. Now we're going to paint the key. The key's going to be a little trickier. It's smaller. Smaller is trickier. Here we go. Just going to lightly touch it. Just like that. Perfect. Got the key done. Key is done. There we go. Off-topic question, but I was wondering about your feelings toward Freedom 5. Recently purchased it, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Why don't you give me your thoughts on it when you play it, because I have never played it. Lied. I have played it one time, and that was on Tabletop Simulator during its like beta. Steve from the Coop Guild had access to it, and he told Colin and I we should play it. Colin and I don't do very well on Tabletop Simulator. Let's put it this way. By the time we were done playing it, I think I had fallen out of his chair, out of the chair once. And I think we figured out what games we were going to do next on the stream. I think he talked me into like 3 different games to play. And we weren't really even paying attention to the game because he and I get so sidetracked so fast that when it comes to playing a game on Tabletop Simulator, it just doesn't work. So I've never played Freedom 5. I think maybe Steve from Co-op Guild did. If maybe Derek did from Canje Studios. Colin may have, because I think he had it at one time. Because he did pledge for it by accident, which is kind of a funny story. He pledged for it by accident. He pledged for it and then forgot to cancel the pledge. Next thing you know is he had the pledge. So he's like, surprise, here's the game. I'm not sure if he did a video for it or not. I don't remember. Check our backlog. You might be able to find it. So I don't have anything on that one. Sorry. That was something Colin did. Colin did that one. I did not. I didn't have anything to do with that game. Let's see. I'm looking for my black again. I noticed as you paint, you're always finding other things. Yeah, Colin had it. That's why I thought you might have played it. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. No. If it's any consolation, that thing, it didn't even come to me. That thing just went straight onto the get rid of pile. He did not, I don't think he kept it for very long. Or he found somebody else that really wanted it. I don't know what it was. Or else we passed it along to another content creator. I can't remember what happened to it. I don't remember at all what happened to it. So I'm sorry I can't help you. I think he said it was good. It was just not, it wasn't something that was doing something that he didn't already have something doing. Does that make sense? Like the mechanics of the game weren't something unique that he didn't have in another game that he enjoyed. I hope that makes sense. But you could ask him next time we stream. And you can ask him. And he will give you an answer. Okay, I missed snakebite leather. I missed a part. These are the kind of things this is part of my painting problem. I find parts I forget to do, and I have to go back and do them. And what are they? Small, teeny things, like this guy's leg down here. He's got these little things. I need to paint them snakebite leather. There you go, done. That's all I need to do. Totally forgot to do that. Now we're continuing on with silver. We're still on silver. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint silver. It reminds me of Marvel Dagger. Aha! That's another one I have not played. I've heard that's kind of like an Arkham horror, Arkham something light. Very similar to something like that. That's what I've heard. But I haven't played Dagger either, Marvel Dagger. Now I'm wondering if I'm going to try this. We'll try this. I am going to paint this whole thing silver. Why not? What we're going to do is we're going to paint this silver. I've got a plan, but it's going to come to fruition later. Oh, there's Steve from Co-op Guild. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. If people are interested, Steve has just did a recap video on his time at Gen Con. He looked like he had more fun than I did that week. While he was at Gen Con, decided to clean out my garage, which is satisfying. Don't get me wrong. Very satisfying. I think Gen Con is better. But it sounded like I tuned in for a short little bit while I was getting ready, and it sounded like they had an absolute blast. And that is super important, and I'm glad they did. And I will be there next year. Steve will be there next year with Kim from Co-op Guild. Colin will be there. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have fun. Good to see you, Steve. Thank you so much for joining. Oops, hi, friends again. There we go. Okay. We're working on Trajann Valoris today, Steve, because you almost care. But you don't know anything about this guy. But someday you will. Your son will be so into this game, there's nothing you can do. Gen Con is always fun, but way more fun with Barrett. Oh, Steve, come on. I saw the pictures. You had a blast. You hung out with friends. You had fun. All right. Steve's trying to boost my ego. Doesn't need much boosting. It's pretty high already. Pretty big ego. All right, let's see if I need to get back here. Do I need to get back there? Let's just try. There you go. That should be good enough. You can't really see that from there unless you really want to pick this guy and look for it. Okay. Silver is done. Silver is done. Silver is done. Nope, it's not. See? Told you every time. Every time. Every time. Someday you will need to teach me Warhammer. I will do that. Actually, someday my son should teach you Warhammer. He's the Warhammer genius. I just am the meddler. I don't really know much. But yes, I'd be more than happy to, Steve. Interestingly enough, I can teach you on Tabletop Simulator, I think. Not very good at Tabletop Simulator, but I think they have a mod for it on there. Oh boy. There we go. Did I hit that cape back there? Dang it! See? So now I need to try to get it off of there. I think I got most of it there. There we go. Do you paint the eyes? My hands shake a bunch and I struggle with painting eyes. No. Nope. His eyes are going to stay just like that. Those are his eyes painted. What you see right there. Totally fine. From this far away, nobody's going to notice. I don't care. I mean, if you're looking at the table at some dude, I mean, do you notice his eyes? No. Don't care. You can't even tell. You actually can tell more when I mess them all up, because just like you, I mess them up every time. Actually, you might not mess them up all every time, but I mess them up every time. So no, not a single one of my guys do their eyes get painted. Not even these dudes. These dudes don't even get their eyes painted. Check this dude out. I could put, like, it could be super easy. See how there's an indentation right there where all I have to do is just put a red dot or red line across it to make it look like he's got eyes. Nope, kept him gold. Could I have took a level 3 brush and just gone, whoop? Yes, I could have. I could have just gone, whoop. But I decided not to. Decided not to. Nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. I actually probably do too much detail work from this. I probably could just paint and mess things up. It wouldn't even matter. That's done. Okay, now we're going to go back to purple. Why am I going back to purple? Because the hilts or the grips of all of their weapons are purple. This I command. I'm kind of like Serpentor. This I command. We're going to go in there and get the hilt of that sword purple. Go back and forth on it, getting all the way up to there. There we go. It's purple. Purple hilt. If I want to be tricky, I can get back here where the purple cape is and get a little more purple back there. There you go. Not too bad. Actually, I'm going to do that. Why not? Because why not screw this up? I'm going to really screw up this model. I'm going to get way back there. Can I get some of this purple back there? There we go. That's part of the problem with this miniature. It's got too many nicks and crannies that I can see, but nobody else ever will, so I know they're there. Whoop is a technical term for painting eyes. That is true, Steve. You didn't know that? See, Steve, you got to get into Warhammer. You got to know the technical terms. I mean, when you're painting eyes, you go, boop, there you go. You got it. Boop. Super good. Yeah, interestingly enough, my son does paint the eyes on some of his miniatures. You know how he does it? He actually has paint markers. He's got these super fine paint markers that he can just go in there and just go. That's when you use a marker. Just like that. See, now when you use a paintbrush, it's whoop. But when he uses a marker, just like that. And they don't look too bad. I'm impressed. Me? No, not taking time. Not taking time to do that. It's not going to happen. All right. Where were we? Silver there. Oh, I think it's dry, right? Yeah, okay. So here's cool. Here's coolness. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. So it's primarily purple. What's a color that goes with purple? Oh, I know a color. Blue. Yep. What? Blue? No. Yes, this one right here. Is that hack in the background? Yes, it is dot hack in the background. You're exactly right. That is my dot hack one. That's one of my scrolls I've got. I got that. I've got, oh, what else is back here? I've got Gunslinger Girl too, but she's laying on the ground. This is my Gunslinger Girl little flaggy thing I got here. This is an old anime from a long time ago. I really like that one. Long time ago, I bought it. I got some other ones in the back too. This is the only place I am allowed to decorate. So I only get to hang one every once in a while. So I change it up as I do it. You're a man with good taste. Love it. Thank you, Board Gaming Night. I do enjoy many different things. This is true. I am not a one-trick pony. I have many ponies. All right. I'm going to see if this works. This could not work. So this color is called Contrast Pillar Glacier, right? Okay. I'm going to put this over the silver, and hopefully this is going to look cool. We'll see if this does. This might not. This might take a few coats here to make this look cool, but we're going to give it a shot here. Part of painting is giving things a shot. If they don't work, just paint over them. But this should hopefully make this turn bluish. And it didn't do anything. Liquefied pork. Good day, people. Hey, Barrett, do you use the same size brushes all the time or whatever you have handy? Great question. I use mainly 3 different kind of brushes here. 4 actually, but I don't have the 0 with me right now. Actually, I have 2 3s. Normally, if I'm painting a larger area, I use a 1. If I'm doing more detailed work, I'll use a 3-0 brush, which have finer tips on them. So the 1s have the most, are the biggest ones. Of course, I've got like other ones that are out of control. I've got, oh, nope, not that one. Let's find something else that's a little bit there. There you go. Here you go. I got a 3. This 3's got a big tip on it. Real big tip. So if you ever want to do something really big tip, there you go. But this one's off to the side. So I have more brushes, but I usually use 1s, 0s, double 0s, and triple 0s because then I have the most control. If I started painting bigger miniatures, sometimes I'll use my airbrush, but not very often. I don't really use an airbrush very often. I used to prime with it. I kind of prime a lot with it in the winter. Because in Minnesota it gets cold, and priming in the cold doesn't work. Okay, this paint is, again, failed me every time I've used it. We're not using that one. Oh, maybe this one. This one? Not too big. I think that's too much. I've got a plan. Okay, I've got a plan. We're going to try something. All right, wish me luck. We're going to use this. This is called Temple Guard Blue. It's a layer paint, okay? We're going to put this on. But interestingly enough, this layer paint has seen better days. This layer paint is what you would call, oh, dead. It's like super dead, but way down in the bottom of it, there's still some liquid. Are you dead yet? So I'm going to use a little bit of this. We're going to see if this works. We'll see if this works. I'm gonna put a little bit on here, just like that. Just a little bit on the brush. And hopefully this will not cover the silver, but just kind of so you can see through it. Let's see a little bit of that paint off. I think it might be okay. Here we go. Yeah, this is what I'm kind of looking for. I want that blue to kind of stand out there, just like that. I just started airbrush priming from Wisconsin, so I understand the cold weather. Yes, it's it actually works, and it's I use the, I don't have it here. My son's got my paint. I use I want to say it's I forget. Oh, I can show you the name of it. It's surface primer. I got the surface primer name here. I'm going to paint a little bit more on there to give it a little more depth here. But there we go. Now it kind of shines through a little bit. There you go. Keep it blue like that. Why not? And this is the stuff. Surface primer. I don't use this very often. This is white. This sadly failed me. But I got a gray one, and it's called Ghost Gray, I think is what it's called. That's the one I normally prime with. If you haven't noticed, I normally prime all my miniatures in gray. And the reason I prime them as gray is because they work. That's the color that works really well with contrast paints. If you prime in white, that works really well with the Army Painter speed paints. If you ever get a set of these are cheaper than GW's paints, the Games Workshop paints, and they do pretty much the same thing. I just happen to not actually my my son has my speed paints upstairs, so I don't have them here. That's why. It's really the only reason. And I just happen to have a bunch of them. I'm one of those people that if I need a color, I'll go buy it. We have a local store, not a Games Workshop store, just a local friendly gaming store that we like to support. So I buy all my stuff from there. And so if there's ever a color I'm like, oh, I wish I had that color, then I can just go there and get it. Or if I run out of a color, let's go rebuy the color. But I mean, you could buy a whole Army Painter set for like $120 or something. You get like a whole range of ones. There's actually a Kickstarter GameFound thing. I think it just finished for P3 or P2 or something paints. I didn't really look into them, but they seem kind of cool. Don't know anything more than that, but hope that helped. Now that my silver is done, I'm not done yet. Since silver is not a contrast paint, I want to go over it with a wash. So I'm going to use Nuln Oil. This thing should be, an Agrax Earthshade should be in probably every painter's repertoire. This is a shade. Also could be called a wash, depending on what you want to call it. And this will, again, what it is going to be able to do is it'll darken the color a little bit, but it'll give it some definition. It'll like really get in the recesses and make this stand out. And you'll see what I mean in a second here. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but so now that stands out a lot more. So you look at the key versus that ridge that goes across. See how there's that kind of the black sunk into this kind of area here to make it look more defined? That's good stuff. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to do it on this other thing too, which I'm still debating if I might repaint this a little bit. But right now we're going to give this little wash here. And there we go. So now I don't want to get too much. I don't want to pool it in there, but it does give that thing a little more definition for me. Now we want to do it also on the shield. Even though I painted that blue on it, I still want to put this definition around, because I think it'll be cool. There we go. Just like that. Needs a little bit more definition, a little more jump out. Jumpy out. I even want a little bit more. I'm going to get around the sides of this thing. There, just so I'll make a little bit more in the recess there. There. A little bit darker around the edges, which I like. Also, what a wash can do is it can hide mistakes. So if I accidentally got a little bit onto that shield, I could put the black wash on and it can go over that that mistake at least a little bit, covering up something that may have like bled into something. It's another thing a wash can do. Now that's one of the hard parts about contrast phase and speed paints that people have to be aware of. When you use them, you have to almost be precise with them because you can't really, they don't mix. You can't paint another contrast over another contrast very well. Usually darkers can go over lights, but sometimes it still will affect the darker color you paint. Whereas if you paint normal paints like these, you can easily just paint darker paints over the top of these if you had a little bit somewhere that you didn't want. It normally doesn't matter at all. But with contrast, it kind of does. Now, speaking of contrast, I got to figure out what I'm going to do about this feather. He's got like the most obnoxious feather coming out of here. What did he kill? A rock? I mean, come on. I'm thinking about painting it brown and then dry brushing it white. I think that's what I'm going to do. I can't think of anything else to do with it. So we're going to do that. Let's see here. What brown are we going to use? Let's use at least some brown that's going to hold up a little bit here. Ooh, I could do this. I have a Darkgrass shade. It's kind of a dark red brown. We don't like that one. I got Gargax Sewer. This might work. It's kind of a darker brown though. I don't have anything else other than that. Oh, what's this? This might be perfect. I've got, oh, here we got Gorgonchu Fur. This is what we're going to use. Okay. Now, normally I'd paint it on my lion fur, but remember, it's a lion, and the lions are not brown. They're like, I'm going to paint them yellow and then put a brown wash on it, I think is what I'm going to do, because that's going to be cool. All right, we're going to paint this thing, this color. I think this would be awesome. This is going to be for our thingy here. Oh, I almost knocked that over. I got to make sure I put these paints that I'm using into my special don't spiller paint part here. See? See, paint, don't fill the paint. Don't spill the paint. I've done it. Can you tell? It's red. Saw it live on camera. Okay, that's a little bit not as, it's a reddish, more red brown than I thought it would be, but I think it'll be okay because we're going to dry brush that, heavy dry brush of white, I think, over the top of it once it's dry. So we're going to go with this. Again, we're just painting this brown over the over the feather here. It's kind of getting in all the areas here. It's behind this axe. It's all over the place. Now, if I hit the axe again, I don't care too much because it's going to be painted over in black, but it's going to be Black Templar, so it will be a little bit tougher to deal with. But that's okay. I should have shown you I have a way of dealing with that. It's called my Oopsie paint. This is my Oopsie paint. It's called Gray Seer Gray. And the reason it's my Oopsie paint is it's the same color as my primer. Barrett, have a good night. Thanks again for sharing some tips with us. I appreciate it. You are so welcome. Thank you so much for joining Solo Board Gaming Night. It is good to see you. Have a wonderful night. I will see you again at the painting table soon. And on the channel too. Like I said, we're not doing any live streams for a while. We'll be doing just recorded videos. But we got a lot coming. Especially Kingdom of Forlorn. I'm super pumped for that one. That's the new Into the Unknown Studios game. That's going to be sweet. I don't know if anybody saw that at Gen Con. I don't even know if they were at Gen Con. They could have been at Gen Con. I don't know. But we're again just kind of, now we're going on the other side of this feather. And it's really dark, but that's okay. I'm just going to be pushing this all around. I don't expect this to, oh my gosh, it's right up next to that lion head. Really? See, why couldn't this not be right up next to that lion head? Why give me some space? So we're taking the paint originally started here, and I'm just moving it all over this feather. Because I don't want it to darken too much over on that side. I also need, because we need to get some over on this side. There we go. Now I'm going to try to see down in there, but I really can't because there's a big gold halo in my way. I think we're good. We got some on the metal. Yes, I did. We can fix that, and also there's an edge of this here. All the way down. Sorry you can't really see what I'm doing. I apologize. Stuff's just so close to everything else. I want to be careful I don't hit it. Let's put a little bit more on there. Now is this edge of the... I get all the edges of the feather here. I think so. And I even got a piece of that metal. See, I hit the metal there on it. But that's okay. I'm going to fix it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to dry off our brush and just see if we can get the color off. Sometimes that alone will work. Oh. Now I got his head. Got his head with water. Not really going to do anything. It's just water. I don't want it on his head. There we go. I think we got it off. There we go. Perfect. Okay, that's done. Woof. We're getting there. We're getting there. I gotta do the lion. Okay. I'm gonna do about this lion. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about the lion. I think that claws. I think I got a plan. This is going to be top-notch live streaming. Baron is going to stare at its internet screen for a second here. He's going to look up a picture of a lion here. Lion face. Okay, so it really is all that yellowish blonde. Okay, got it. Okay, I got this. I think we can do this. Okay. Got a plan. We're going to do... I got even the color for it, too. I can't believe this. It's called NASDAQ Yellow. This might be maybe too brownish, but we'll give it a shot. NASDAQ Yellow, or else I've got... What's the other color I've got? I got another one similar to it. Thought I had a color similar to it. But another yellowish color. I must be dreaming. I dream of dreaming. Baron, good to see you, Zach. Zach from Loquitur Gaming. Those that want to go see a real painter, go check out Zach over at Loquitur Gaming. He will show you everything. He'll even show you how to restore a paint pot. He might have been appalled by some of my dead paint pots. All right. NASDAQ Yellow. I swear I had another yellow. Well, I've got this one, but this one's out of control. This is just bad moon yellow. This is just straight yellow. I don't want yellow. I want some a little bit of tinge to it. What do I got here? Nope. Purple. Oh, it might just be in my imagination. What the heck is this? Oh, gray. Nope. Nope. It's my imagination. Your imagination. Okay. Yep, this is what we're gonna do. Why is it green? Why is what green? You're green. It's not easy being green. Why is it green? You love green. All right. This is where I'm going to use my bigger brush because it's a bigger area I'm going to be doing here. So I'm going to grab a one brush here. And we're going to paint that. And my sub pump decides to go off. That's awesome. All right. We're going to take some of this, put it into my holder here so it doesn't spill all over. We're going to paint the yellow. Now, I'm going to paint this all yellow, but then we're going to go back and dry brush, and we're also going to put some washes on it or something to really help spice up this thing. Kind of like the Spice Girls. Spice up your life, every boy and every girl. Spice up your life, right? Okay. We're going to paint this on here. This is his lion cloak here. I think this will be a good color to start with here. Goes way down into there, of course, right onto the cloak. Now, the good news, if I hit the cape, oh boy, okay. Small problem, I gotta fix this. Hold on a second here. I didn't realize that I had hit it with purple. So I'm gonna take a dab of my oopsie paint and see, you can barely see it, but I can, so that's enough for me. Right here, I hit purple. So I'm just going to put a little dot there. I'm going to let that dry a little bit while we go over here and paint. While we paint on this side. There we go. I'm going to put that paint away, and we're going to grab our yellow again, that NASDAQ yellow. Naz drag. Was that Naz drag? It's when I drag Naz across the ground. No idea what that even meant. We're gonna put dry. We're gonna paint all this. He's got some teeth. We're gonna keep the teeth out of it. I'm gonna paint the teeth a little bit different. I'm really loading up my brush with a lot of this paint. I'm just gonna push it around. As we found out, the salt and pepper like to push it real good. I'm gonna push it real good here. Kind of all around this. It's now, see, this is a great example of what contrast paint can do. Contrast paint can really make this stuff come to life. Look at that. It's in there. It really spices it up a little bit there. Just like Spice Girls. This is it. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Don't know, this was also karaoke. Backstreet Boys next. Backstreet back. All right. There you go. That's about all you get from me for that, because that's about all I know. All right. I do not know much Backstreet Boys. And you never know what you're going to get at Meet Me at the Painting Table. That's how it goes. I should karaoke more. I like karaoke. They used to call me Captain Karaoke. Steve, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Awesome to have you here, Steve. You're joining Captain Karaoke in his painting stream. I should have my captain's hat on. I can be Captain Karaoke. It's the kind of things I could do without my wife knowing about. And that little dot that we put in there, it was dry enough for me to paint over, so I paint over it. There you go. I'm not going to paint the talons on this guy, or the claws, I mean, talons, claws, same thing, you know. It's just like that. There, that looks pretty good. We're going to paint these with a different color. These claws down here. See, we look on this side. And then you kind of get it just like that. That's the deal. What's your go-to karaoke song? Karaoke with Barrett, Meet Me at the Mic. Oh, Dragon Tears, good to see you. That's what I should do. I should meet me at the karaoke bar. That'd be pretty awesome. What's my go-to karaoke song? I really don't have one. I guess whatever's there that I know. I know a lot. Sing lots of fun stuff. My favorite band is they probably don't have it at the karaoke bar, so that's just how it goes. So probably some bad 80s songs. Captain Karaoke and the Painting Stream sounds like a Lawrence Walk tribute band. That would be amazing. I'll work on that. And again, we're painting this mane of this thing. Same color. Same color, because I got a plan. Now, I need to watch out. I don't want to paint the ears. I actually want to paint the ears a different color. Where are his freaking ears? Oh, there they are. Okay. Never mind. We're painting the ears. Don't care. I got a plan. We got a plan here. Don't worry. Don't freak out. I got a plan. Paint all of this just like that. Sadly, I should have started the face first, but I didn't. All right, that's good. That looks like a mane, like a lion mane. That looks pretty good. Now, I'm going to work on this face. We're going to lighten that up quite a bit here. But I need to wait for it to dry first. Is the problem. It's got to dry first. Now it's got to make sure that we paint on the inside of this, because you can see it. Just barely, but you can see it enough to annoy me. Nobody else will see it, but I'll see it and I'll know it's there. There we go. I may not karaoke a lot, but I do play a lot of rock band. I've got a rock band. I've got my drums, my 2 guitar, my 2 mics, my keytar back there, which is awesome. That was my COVID midlife crisis. I bought a drum set, or I shouldn't say that. I bought a bunch of cymbals for the drum set, and then I proceeded to buy probably about $200 worth of songs before the Xbox Marketplace shut down on the 360. So I bought an absolutely bonkers amount of songs that I probably shouldn't have. And every once in a while, we have a family rock band night where we do rock band, which is super fun. Super fun. Like I bought the entire Pearl Jam 10 album. I bought like, I bought the Green Day thing. So it's like you've got all like, and so like one thing we like to do is we like to play, what is it? American Idiot from front to back. That's a fun thing to do sometimes. We play the entire album together. Super fun. Super fun. Yes, we have fun. Then I try to sing The Offspring and realize that my voice will die before I even get through one song. I have no idea how Dexter does that. I don't know how he can sing like that for an entire concert without dying. All right, this is done, but I need to wait for this to dry so I can work on all of that at once. So our guy's getting pretty good here. I'm pretty excited for what we've done with this guy so far. Let's see, is there anything I need to do else on this? Not on that. I just need to work on dry brushing a lot of this. I gotta wait for it to dry. So while we wait for it to dry, let's work on the spear. Unless people want to see me base something. Good. Base one of the dudes. Okay. How we can do this? Should I start with the black first? I think so. Yeah, why do kids always have different tastes in music than parents? Is he part of your Warhammer army? I don't know why they have different tastes than my parents. So far, my kids are doing okay, except my wife has kind of been introducing them to all sorts of stuff, and now one of them likes country, and I'm scared. Yes, Steve, he is part of my Warhammer army. Babel the Great. The best little karaoke trick I know that works with any song is to swap the word kiss out with fist. Wow. Oh, I can only imagine the power of that. That's awesome. Oh, I'm basing Earthborn Ranger minis right now. Well, your basing's gonna be way better than me. If you want to see somebody go base something really well, go watch Loquitur Gaming. I'm gonna put freaking glue on my miniatures and just dump them in sand. That's what I'm gonna do with mine. It's gonna look great. Super impressed with myself. This Kiss by Faith Hill is gold. That's fast. Oh, I can only imagine. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, now I don't have that song in Rock Band. I can't play that one. It's too bad. In theory, I heard they're bringing out a new Rock Band, but I don't know if they're going to. All right. Now, here's what we got on this. This is all going to be gold up here. This is silver. This is silver. That's silver. That dot is silver. All of this is black. That's silver. All of this is black. This is purple. And that's gold. And that's silver. Okay. So we'll start with, oh, what is that? What is this thing here? I guess that's also gold. That's weird. That's just hanging out like that. Yeah. This thing almost dry? No. But I am going to put some skeletal horde. Is very good for doing like teeth and things like that. And claws, not Santa Claus. Claws. Who were you expecting? Santa Claus? I'll put those right on these claws here. I'm going to put some more of it on there because that was anticlimactic. Yes, he is the leader of my army, Steve. Oh, it's not as sweet as I was hoping it would be. but that's okay. There we go. The other thing I have to wonder if I want to be ambitious with this guy, I could potentially paint all of this in here gold, because I don't know if you notice this, but this has like an indentation in his cape that looks super cool, and I could paint all of that indentation gold and make it all gold throughout there after I dry brush this thing. It might be worth it, because I did that similarly. I did it on him. I put that gold on there. I could do something like that. I might try to be ambitious like that, and if it fails me, I can just paint gray over it and then re-put the purple over it and then re-dry brush it. It'd be a lot of steps, and I'd be really upset with myself, but I could do it. He has the leader vibe. I think it's because of the lion carcass on his shoulder. That's right. Nothing says leader like a lion carcass on your shoulder in Warhammer 40K. That's the deal. That's what it's all about right there. Leader. Okay. Let's see what I can do. We'll start with, I think we'll start with gold, right? Start at the top and work down. Just let the bottom go up. I don't know. This is the gold I use in case anybody is wondering. It is Retributor Armor. It's the gold I use for my dudes. Now, my gold is running a little low on the gold because I've been, well, painting a lot of gold. Okay. Okay. We're going to paint this whole part gold. First, going to get right in there and paint it up. Now, if I hit this thing here, I'm not too worried because that's going to be painted silver. But this, I'm going to be a little more careful over here because I want to paint black on that. Gold. I'm going to turn the miniature so it's easier for me to see the parts I'm painting. Or does it? The muzzle is going to be silver, so I'm just going to paint around it. Let's see here. Okay. Kind of wondering how I'm going to get the black in there, but that's okay. I just want to paint gold all the way up to that thing. I'm kind of wondering. There's another right there, and there goes gold here, gold here. So there goes gold all the way up to that. Now I don't want to paint the axe head gold because that is going to be blue. The same blue I used on his thing. So we're going to try to paint the top of this. Now I just want to get the side there. And then this here. Oh, I see. Okay. I think I'm going to paint that gold. I was debating about leaving some of that silver, but I think we're going to paint that gold. Okay. Now we're going to come around over here and paint this stuff. Get some more gold. Up top. Go around on this. There we go. Get that gold. I like the gold. Remember, that's one of the rules of painting. When in doubt, paint gold. Right? I think it's a great rule. There we go. I'm being very careful not to paint anything that's not this bird. That's getting kind of dicey with the paintbrush I'm using. So I'm going to switch my brush to one that's not that. Oh, and I failed. It probably wasn't even the shot. I apologize. We're going to ditch that one. We're going to grab this this is a 001. This one's going to give me a little more control, and it's going to be smaller. So I have less chance of messing this up. But don't worry, I'll figure out a way. There we go. The bird is painted. The eagle has landed. Okay. This side's done as well. I'm debating, trying to figure out what I'm going to do about that thing that's sticking out. It'll probably be gold when all is said and done. That's still drying. Okay. But for now, we're going to get to black. And we're going to use Black Templar, just like we've been doing in the past. It's just going to mimic pretty much what these are. These are all done the same. You have this black with the silver and the purple handle things, and then the gold. Now, of course, as I do these, eventually I'm going to get to the point where I'm going to dry brush even in there a little bit to make it stand out a little bit. And then I'm going to dry brush these guys, thing and everything. They look real good. Look real good. Gotta get a drink of water. Almost gonna try to brush that right now, but I'll wait. We'll wait. Okay. We'll get the black on this. That'll be fine. Then we'll come back. Shaking up some Black Templar, put it there. I'm gonna paint it. I'm gonna start with the 3 brush. No, start with the 1 brush down at the bottom. So we're gonna start down here, right in the middle of this thing. We're just gonna hit this thing. Just like that. Come all the way down here. Now, if I get inside here somewhere, it doesn't really matter because that's going to be painted like with a metal. That's just going to go right over it. Same with this over here. I can just hit that. Doesn't matter. This is all black. Now this handle I want to be a little bit careful of because that's going to be purple, which can be a different color. There we go. Just like that. Come to this side, same deal. I'm just going to kind of go back and forth on it. And black contrast paint, we're going to soak up some of the paint on this side and bring it to the other side. Like that. Be a little careful here. Oh, I just noticed that there's dark purple on this. My wife would tell me something to the effect of, not even you can screw this up. Then tell her challenge accepted. She doesn't like it when I say that's awesome. Oh my gosh. You can't even screw this up. Challenge accepted. All right. I did notice that there's actually some purple down at the bottom of this, but if I paint black enough over it, probably not going to be noticed. That's my guess. All that's black. Another trick about contrast paints, I got to look at them from all different angles because there'll be times I'm like, oh, how did I not hit that part? And then not realize that I didn't hit a part. I'm like, wow, that was weird. How did I not get that? There we go. All right, this is coming along really good. I'm really excited about this. It's pretty awesome. Again, just getting this Black Templar on here. But I don't want to hit his hand. So I'm going to come at it from the side where his hand is, just going to push the paint up to it, but not into it. I don't know if that makes sense. Now this is all black too. And we're going to paint all of this part here. Go to this side and do the same thing on this side. Now if I hit that, not a big deal, because that's going to be silver. And silver can go right over these contrast paints, not a problem. Now I want to be careful of that axe head. I almost went nuts, so I went right onto it, because that's going to be painted with a paint that I can't paint over with. That same blue we use for his insignia here. We're getting pretty close to this being done. Okay, let's see here. Again, at the end of the world, if I get some of this black. I do not want to hit that axe head. Or the chicken. Probably not a chicken. There you go. Guy's pretty happy. All right, let's see how happy he is on this side. Let's put a little more black on my brush. Let's get this side now. Put some black on there. Gonna hit this a little bit, not a big deal. I think we're good. Turn it a little bit so I can see the side. I'm just going to run my paintbrush slide a little bit down the side here. There we go. Perfect. All right, got the black on there. Almost. Spot here. There we go. Whew. Okay, now this is able to be dry brushed. Okay, let's find something fun. I've got Terminus Stone. Terminus Stone is what we're going to use. We're going to try this. See how this goes. If we don't like it, you know, we'll fix it later. I'm going to take this dry brush. It's a little thing. We're going to go like this. We're going to put some of this dry brush paint on. If you've never seen a dry brush paint, this is a dry brush paint. It does not come out. It is pretty much dry. All right, I'm going to get my little thingy again. Oofta! Okay, that's a long way down to the floor. We're just going to kind of take some of that off here. There you go. And then if I want to, I can test it out on this. Looks pretty good. Okay. Now we're going to run it over this thing. And one thing I want to hit the most is his face. I want his face the most as I can. It's dry brush. And some of his mane. That looks pretty good. Now, I like the face like that. That's pretty nice. I don't like the fact that the mane got a little bit too white, I think. But I do like the face. I like that a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the NASDAQ yellow again. Where'd I put it? Probably right here. Nope, that's skeletal horde. Ooh, that work? Ooh, that might be interesting. Nope. Where'd it go? Here it is. I'm going to do just a little bit more of the NASDAQ yellow. I'm going to put that back over that main. I like the main to be more of a fuller yellow color. I think it'd be look cool. We're going to put some more on our brush. We're just going to fill it in there. Yeah, that's way better. We have more of a variation in the face. I think that's way better. That's the deal. That sounds like you were playing a game with Colin. The most part I want to hit, the most part I want to hit is his face. That's right. Wham! With my fist. I'm not gonna kiss. I'm gonna fist. Yeah, right in the fist. Oh, but I'm pretty happy with that guy's head. I'm pretty excited about that lion. That was pretty good. Just that one small thing we did to that lion made it look super cool. I'm super impressed with my lion right now. Super impressed with my lion. I think that looks super good. I like it. Yeah, he's got a lion on his back and he's proud of it. I'm pretty proud of him too. All right, let's go back to this thing here. Let's go back to this thing. Let's go to silver. Again, we're going with that silver here. Actually, we're going to go with the blue first. There's a reason for that. We're going to do this blue, Templar blue. And the reason we're doing this first is because I need it to dry, because we're going to have to do something after that. The other stuff, I don't need it to dry. All right, we're going to take this one brush, just the big brush I've got. We're going to dig deep in there, because this is one of those paint pots that Zach is a big fan of. It's super dead. And so we're just going to dig in here and grab some of this. But it's actually, I'm glad it's dead, because it's actually more of a glaze now, which will be awesome. So we're going to paint this as right on this thing, just like this. It's going to go in here, and it's going to go right up to everything, just like that. And that wasn't even close to what I wanted it to do, but will suffice. It's the one time it didn't do what I wanted it to do. That's okay. Let's get a little more on there. Let's do this side now. That's more what I wanted to do. Just look like that. Not like that. It's too blue. It's got not enough definition in it. Not a fan. I think in the long run we'll be okay. That'll be fine. Not super thrilled, but we'll have to do. Okay. We painted it blue. Just like that. Now, we're going to do silver while that dries. We're getting close to the end here. I'm running out of time. Wonder if we'll get it done. We'll try to get it done here. I need silver. Silver right here. What we're painting silver. We start down here. There's nothing silver down there. On all the other ones, there's something silver down there. Not this one. All right, we're going to paint this silver. Including that little dot there, because I've done that on all of them. And with this, we also want to paint it right across the side there. Perfect. And down the inside. Okay, that's done. Next, silver up here. So the shot, way to go, Barrett. Come on, let's work on that. People want to see what you're doing. They don't want to sit there and go, oh, wonder what he's doing off camera. Okay, that's done. Next, silver. This thing right here. And same over on this side. I forgot we need to still dry brush these feathers. Totally forgot about that. Okay, next. This ammunition cartridge. Now, on some of the other ones, I didn't paint it as silver as this one, but I'm going to. More silver. Because people always lift the miniature up and look underneath. Continue with silver. More silver. I hope everybody's enjoying their wonderful night tonight. It is a Monday night, which is when most work weeks start for people. I even work today, and I normally don't work on Mondays. Okay. Silver done, except for the top part. More little thing, and right up on top. Gun barrel is silver. There we go. Okay, silver done. Move on to the next color. Next color, purple. Getting close. We're going to do this. Come on, we can get this done. Black Templar. There's my purple. We're going to go back to, I don't think I ever told you my purple is. It's Shyish purple is what I'm using. Use Shyish purple on all of this. We're going to run that just right on these handles here. And run the side. And I hit the stupid black part. There you go. Perfect. Okay, that one's done. Next one. So close to the end. Like the never-ending story. Never-ending story. Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow, right? I don't know about everybody there, but I don't know if people do or not, but I am getting close to being super pumped for fantasy football soon. All right, we're still working on these handles. My league was just talking about when they're going to do the drafts, so that got me excited. I'm a huge football fan, in case people don't know. I'm a Vikings fan. We're banking on McCarthy this year. It's going to be the plan here. I must admit that purple looks a bit shy. Thanks. It's shyish purple. You know, I don't know where they get some of those names. I'm sure some of it has to do with like lore and things like that, but yeah, shyish purple. That's it. And I probably said it wrong. You know me. I said everything wrong. Okay. Super close. Super close. The time is coming closer. Dragon Tears. I'm extremely excited for football to start, even though my team is horrible. Which team is yours? Are you the Browns fan or are you a Jets fan? It's one of those two. All right. Let's see what we got left here. Okay, now we got to do this axe. Yep. Here we go. It is the Browns. I knew it had to be one of the two. Oh, that's awesome. So I'm going to show you what I did with my other dudes here. So here's an axe that I did already. So here's our plan with it. Our plan is this. I'm going to dry brush a little white on it, but then afterwards I want to make it look like it's got like these like cracks or these like little, like almost looks like marble. You know what I mean? That's what we're going to go for here. We're going to hope that works. That's going to be the plan here. And if it doesn't work, probably blame somebody. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take that denim stone again. Now we have. We're going to take a small dry brush. We're going to take that one we used before. There you go. It's sad you guessed that easily. Well, dude, you're deep. I feel so bad. Oh, I guess it could be the Saints. They're going to be bad, terrible too. All right. So I got a little bit on my brush. And this time, actually, I'm just going to use my cloth here. I'll wipe a little bit off there. There you go. All right. And then we're going to just slowly brush this across. There you go. That looks pretty cool. Now we're going to go to this side and do the same thing. Need a little bit more. Gotta have at least some kind of change. Okay, there you go. Okay. There you go. Perfect. Okay, now I gotta do the lightning bolts. Kind of what they're supposed to be, but I don't know. We're gonna take this. It's called Wraithbone, and this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna take just a little teeny bit on this on like a 2 brush. That'll be fine. Like I just have an acid a little bit, and I'm actually gonna pull some of that off. And then we're just gonna draw small lines coming off of this thing. Like veins coming off of this thing. I don't want to be perfect lines, so I'm okay with it being a little off. but then you can kind of see the lines in it. It's very subtle. And that's okay. That's what I want. Now we're going to do it on this side. Need more. Got 2 done. There we go. Then we got those kind of going through that one too. Then we get those just like that. And then he's almost done. We got one more thing left to do. Here's another technique I'm going to try. And then we're done. Oh, I got dry brushes. Oh, I got dry brushes thing. Okay, we're almost done. I'm going to... Oh, this is going to be silver. Okay, we got to get silver here first. Silver. Missed something. Like that. Right here. Dot. Perfect. Missed the dot. Okay. Now, this is the cool part. We want to also add gold to this weapon. We're going to use gold. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the brush. We're going to load up the side of that brush with the gold. And I'm just going to kind of slide it across a couple times like that. So now the whole side of this brush is covered in gold. And we're going to just touch the edge. So I'm just slightly going across the top of this thing. I don't want to get too close to the edge to it. Once I start seeing the gold coming off the brush, then I know I'm at the right height. We're just going on the edge. Just like that. There we go. We got the gold on that one. Just like that. Now I gotta go up here and get the gold on this. This is gonna be a little bit trickier because I don't want to hit that silver either that we got. But again, if I hit the silver, I can just go back over, not the end of the world. Now, interestingly enough, if I hit any part that's not where I want it to go, which is right there, I hit it right there, we're going to have to fix that later. And fixing it is kind of a pain in the butt. But it'll be okay. Again, we're putting a little more paint on here, and I'm just going until we kind of see it coming off the brush onto. There we go. Now down here, same thing. Ready? Here we go. But you don't want too much on the brush because you don't want it to actually come off the brush where you don't want it to. I only want it on that raised edge. There we go. Woof. Okay, that's cool. Now we did miss one spot, so I have to fix it. Let's see. All right, we need to do black. That's right. Once we get this black on and we dry brush that feather, he's going to be done, and my army is going to be complete except for the base, which won't take me long at all. Oh, there's another part I got to do. Oh, there's always something else. Okay, so we want this gold right here. I hit this gold, so we're just going to kind of Put a dab of black and a dab of black there. We're just going to kind of paint that in a little bit there, just kind of the whole area here. So it looks a little darker, but it's not like it's going to be that much different from the other side. So we're going to do the other side too. Just to kind of match. Oh, I hit that up there. Ooh, come on, black paint. I need the black paint to touch up that one spot. There you go. Okay. That's done, that's done, that's done. Okay, two more things. Gold. I need to get my gold back. I need to get the bottom of this thing here. I forgot about this. I just gotta get the other side of his gnarly staff here. Try not to hit the black, we already did. And interestingly enough, I don't really want to hit the base because that's actually a rock he's standing on. And so I'm actually going to keep the rock as is, and I'm just going to do a black shade on it and then maybe a white dry brush. We'll see. All right, and then that's going to be it for that. Now comes the debate, do I want to go through and actually put the wash on that? I could if I wanted to. Now we also decided a long time ago that we were going to paint this gold too. Now this is going to be really, really scary. Because if I screw this up, God, I'm scared. Okay, I'm going to try that technique where I just kind of go across it. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that, just being as is. All right, let's go to the other side. If I screw this up, this could be bad news city. That color is so hard to replicate. I'm good. I like that. I think we're okay. We'll go on the black, but I took it off. Okay, now to do is wash it and we're done. Now we can go to bed. Nope, dry brush the feather. Okay. I'm gonna use this one. Use this one. We're gonna do just a white dry brush. Super simple, easy white dry brush. We'll take most of it off. Come in. Just lightly. Okay. Not liking this. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yes, I can read my wife's text before I go to bed. Don't worry. I saw your text. Can you read your wife's text before you go to bed? I sure can. Don't worry. I need a different brush. Okay, here's the deal. I need this. This is another dry brush, but it's super small because what I'm having problems with is getting in there. And that big, the other thing is too big. So this is going to take a little while because I want to get this right. Okay, and this dry brush is going to kind of, well, it's a smaller dry brush, so it's easier to get in there without hitting stuff I've already done. I'm just gonna, more than anything, just kind of getting the sides of the feather. And again, you don't have to be perfect because this is kind of an organic feather thing, right? There you go. It's gonna be hot up here. Yeah, don't worry, I got you covered. How have your 40K games been going? Well, I have played one game and I have won. I play my son in the league coming up here pretty soon. Maybe when we get a chance very soon. We're going to record that one for the channel, and it'll be fun to watch. All right, I think we are almost done. So it's been going really well. I've actually, like I said, I've enjoyed it way more than I thought I would because I didn't really know what to expect going into it. So it's been really cool. Now somehow this bottom part of this thing did not turn out very well. So we're going to paint over it again with gold. There, that's a way better gold color. I don't know where the other gold. Why it did not look as good. There we go. There we go. And Trajann Valoris is pretty much done. Only a few more things. I have to decide if I want to put the wash on that. I'll have to think about that. Oh, there's one more thing I need to do. Does he have any? He doesn't. Normally, a lot of these guys have a bunch of jewels all over them, kind of like this guy. So he's got these like jewels all over his body. So I go through and I paint all the jewels a different color on each one of them. He's blue. Let's see this guy. Did I even paint this guy's? I painted this guy's purple. Nope, I haven't painted this guy's yet. But he'll get them soon. This is what I'm talking about, where the base is like this. I'm just gonna, this is, you did a black wash on that. That's the deal. They're enjoying 40K. I feel like they are speaking a new language most of the time these days. This is true. My son came back from Battleground and talked about 40K for about 5 minutes, and basically Robin just stood there and looked at us like we were crazy. So there you have it. Every member of my army is completely painted. Oh, that feels good. Feels so good. I'm glad I got to do it on the painting table tonight. Now, like I said, the only thing I have left to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have to base 13 of them. That's not tough. We might do that on the painting table next time. Is base our minis. Be what we might do. So that'll be fun to do. But other than that, I think that's all I got for tonight. I appreciate everybody being here. I've seen that look. That's right. The lost me at Nurdles. They lost me at Nurdles, except it's Nurgles. So close. Whoops, that's the painting table. So again, thank you so much for joining. This would not be as fun as it is without you here. So thank you all for joining. If Dan is still around, thank you again for the wonderful super chat. Thank you so much. That is all from the painting table tonight. I appreciate you all being here. Looks great. Thank you very much. If anything, you look great as well. Now, and I look great too. I got a haircut. I'm amazing. All right. That's it. Let's see if I can find the right buttons. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're excited to see what Colin and I have coming up, then I need you. Of course, let's hear. Well, oh, do I have anything else to say? Maybe. No, I don't. All right. I need you to meet me at the table. Take care, everyone.